We are 4 hours into building this thing. We have both walls on the exterior up. We have some rake walls left to go. We need to wrap the rest of this thing in sheathing. We have a roof left to go, but we're getting closer. We started out the day by knocking out these rake walls. A rake wall is simply a wall that matches the rake of the roof. Instead of being level across the top, it follows that roof pitch. When framing this way, you have to custom cut each individual stud. You will see that we use a laser from bottom plate to shoot up to the top plate. That way we know where our studs go. If you would like to learn more about rake walls, click the icon in the top right hand corner. I do have a video that covers rake walls from start to finish. We just got our zip system sheathing up on the front there. We need to route it out the window and the door. We're gonna do the same thing on this rake wall and the rake wall on the other side. We're getting there though. My pops went through and cut all the rafters. I'm gonna show you guys that in just a second. The way we figured that out is by taking a 2x6, setting it on top of the rake wall over there, and simply scribing the back. That right there is about as easy as it can get. There's no numbers involved. You put the piece up there, scribe the backside, cut that out, and use that as a pattern to cut the rest of them. All of them will work out perfect all the way down, and the roof's on. When you build a structure, especially out here in California, we have nailing patterns. We have nailing inspections on typical homes. Most common nail pattern is 6 and 12. 6 around the perimeter of the sheet and 12 in the field on those two studs. So we're gonna follow that same practice even though we're just building a simple little shed to where we know that we're building the right way. You want your nails spaced 6 inches on the outside, and we're using our 10Ds, 2 3/8 by 1 4/8, and then 12 inches on center down the center of the two studs. So now that our roof assembly is on, you can see that we've got the rafters all tossed in. We have our lookouts going off the side of the rake to give us that 1 foot overhang that we're after. We're gonna be putting up our fascia board now. This is a 2x8 fascia board. You typically wanna go a little bit bigger than the rafter size. We're working with 2x6 rafters. We're gonna put up a 2x8 fascia board. All 45-degree cuts on the corners, primed, glued, and put together. We're also using galvanized nails to where it doesn't rust out.
Like it breaks and falls apart. Yeah.
How are you looking?
Get out of there. Please,
Good. Coming for you.
like it?
Yep.
Like it? That's you. Happy with that?
Yep.
All right. stretches. Seriously? Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh yeah. Looks like slime on the wall.
Nope. We're gonna have to deal with
And the way we fix that is we just
whack it off. Roll away. That's beautiful. So 14 hours, practically a weekend's worth of work. To build this behind me here, I'd say it was worth it. Now as you can see, these windows are actually pretty nice. We pulled them off of a remodel. The home was built in 2014. The owners just wanted to scrap them and get rid of them. But when you see something like this, little projects like this come up all the time, we're gonna hang on to it. So it's been sitting here in the storage yard for the last couple years. Glad we finally got a use out of them. Now let's go back to when we set these windows. We ran our stretch tape here all the way along the sill, up 6 to 8 inches on both sides. From there, we ran regular old zip flashing tape down the sides, lapped in just a little bit, and then across the top, lapped in a little bit as well. From there, we caulked the side of the window, the top of the window, and then the other side over there. We left the bottom open. Another thing we do is we leave the top flange completely unnailed or unscrewed. We do not fasten it whatsoever. Reason being is because headers sag over time, especially on bigger windows. Stuff like this probably won't ever sag, but if you have a monster header going across a big window and you screw that thing all the way off and that beam settles, what's gonna happen is it's gonna crack your window. You don't want that to happen. We only screw the sides and the bottom, every other hole all the way around. Now let's talk about the screws that we use. You don't want anything too crazy with too big of a head because it'll hold out your trim when you go to trim out this window. So we use nice little pan head screws. They're not too big. These are just 1 inch. All the way around, every other hole. Holds it in perfect. I know some people still use nails, but let me know down in the comments below whether you're using screws these days or nailing still. We haven't nailed in quite some time. Pan head screws have been the go-to.